My entitled shopper insisted on paying half price, snickering. I know the owner, so you should give me a discount. When I refused, she laughed. I'll just call him right now and get you fired. Her confidence crumbled when the owner stepped out of the office and said, Actually, I've never met you before, and now you're permanently banned from this store. I used to work at a local electronics store in Austin, Texas. It was a decent job, and most customers were friendly. But every now and then, you'd get someone who thought the rules didn't apply to them. This is one of those stories. It was a busy Saturday afternoon. The store was filled with customers browsing the latest gadgets. I was at the register when a woman walked in. She was dressed in designer clothes, sunglasses perched on her head, and had an air of superiority. She headed straight for the high-end headphones. After about 20 minutes of browsing and asking numerous questions, she selected a pair priced at $299.99. She brought them to the counter and said, I'll take these, but I'm only paying half. I know the owner, so you should give me a discount. I was taken aback. Our store had strict policies about discounts. Unless there was a sale or a coupon, the price was non-negotiable. I replied, I'm sorry, ma'am, but we don't offer discounts unless there's a promotion or coupon. Her smirk turned into a sneer. Do you know who I am? I said I know the owner. If you don't give me the discount, I'll call him right now and get you fired. I maintained my composure and said, You're welcome to call him, ma'am, but our policy remains the same. She pulled out her phone, dialed a number, and started a loud, one-sided conversation. Yes, it's me. I'm at your store, and this employee is refusing to give me the discount you promised. Yes, I told him I know you. Can you believe this? Unbeknownst to her, the owner, Mr. Thompson, was in his office at the back of the store. He had a clear view of the sales floor and had been watching the entire interaction. He walked out, approached the counter, and said, Excuse me, ma'am. I'm the owner. We've never met before, and I certainly didn't promise you any discount. Her face turned a shade of red I'd never seen before. She stammered, But I thought. Mr. Thompson continued, I'm afraid I can't allow customers to threaten my employees. I'm going to have to ask you to leave and not return. You're permanently banned from this store. She stormed out, leaving the headphones on the counter. The other customers who had witnessed the scene applauded, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of justice. Mr. Thompson turned to me and said, You handled that well. I'm proud of you. He even gave me a small bonus that week for maintaining professionalism under pressure. After she left, we all took a breath. The tension she brought in had finally cleared. Mr. Thompson patted my shoulder and walked back into his office like it was just another day. But it wasn't. About an hour later, I was stocking phone cases near the front when a tall guy in a navy polo stormed through the doors like he owned the place. He didn't say hi. He didn't ask for help. He came in with that same kind of fake confidence she had, the rules don't apply to me type. He walked straight to the counter, looked at me, and asked loudly, Who was the employee that embarrassed my fiancée earlier? I raised an eyebrow. I didn't say anything yet. He glanced around, and when no one answered fast enough, he raised his voice again. Is it you? He pointed at me. You told Denise she couldn't get a discount? So now I had a name. Denise. I followed store policy, I said calmly. She claimed she knew the owner and tried to threaten me. Mr. Thompson came out and handled it. You humiliated her, he said through gritted teeth. She was crying in the car for 30 minutes. You made her feel like trash. I didn't reply to that because honestly, that was her own doing. Then he made a mistake. I work in law, he said, puffing out his chest. And I can make a problem for this store if I want. That's when I hit the silent alarm under the counter. Not because I was scared, but because when people start threatening businesses in person, things can spiral fast. Mr. Thompson came back out, calm as ever. Is there a problem? You banned my fiancée for no reason, the guy said, now shifting his attention to the boss. We're long-time customers. You just cost yourself thousands in business. Mr. Thompson didn't blink. You may leave. Now. Or I'll call the police. And if you ever step foot in here again, you'll be charged with trespassing. Are you kidding me? The guy snapped. You think you can talk to me like that? Then, before either of us could react, he knocked over a stand of portable speakers. Boxes hit the floor. One cracked open. Everyone stopped. A kid in the aisle dropped a toy he was playing with and stared. A woman near the front gasped. And the guy realized he'd messed up. You just damaged store property, I said. You can leave on your own, or the cops can walk you out. Right then, a police cruiser pulled into the lot. The officer, Officer Landry, was already familiar with us. Friendly guy, used to stop in for coffee during his rounds. He saw the mess. He saw the guy. And that was all he needed. Within 5 minutes, the guy was in handcuffs, still shouting about his rights, and suing everyone in the building. When the door finally shut behind them, Mr. Thompson sighed. People like that, they think they're invincible until they hit a wall. I cleaned up the speakers. We checked inventory and filed a report. I figured that would be the end of it. But 2 days later, Denise was back. This time, she wasn't alone. And she wasn't trying to buy anything. She had a phone out, was live streaming from the sidewalk. She's filming, one of the cashiers whispered. Denise was pacing in front of the windows, yelling into her phone about how we assaulted her and used corporate power to shame her in public. She called the store corrupt and said Mr. Thompson was a predator who hides behind his employees. It was wild. Customers inside were watching like it was a movie. She tried to come in, but one of our security guards blocked the door. Mr. Thompson didn't say a word. He just called the cops again. She left before they arrived, but not before she screamed at a mom and her kid walking in, saying we sold stolen tech and bootleg electronics. The poor mom looked terrified. That week, our Google reviews got spammed with 1 stars. Most of them weird, obviously fake. Stuff like, found cockroaches in my new iPad. And, they refused to serve me because I wore pink. All posted in the span of an hour. Mr. Thompson had to bring in legal help to get them removed. He even considered filing a restraining order. But here's where it gets strange. A week after all that, a customer came in, a real estate agent named Cheryl. Super nice. Regular customer. As she was checking out, she leaned in and said, You know that woman Denise? I nodded slowly. She's been blacklisted at almost every open house in town. Tried to negotiate $1 million home down to half price because she knew the developer. Caused a scene when they refused. Her fiancé's the same. People are starting to talk. Austin's a big city, but not that big. That's when I realized this wasn't just a one-time thing. This was who they were. Everywhere they went, they pulled the same act. Pretend to know people. Demand special treatment. Throw tantrums when they don't get it. I was tempted to look them up, but I didn't. I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. But I did make a mental note, these types don't stop. They escalate. And I was right. Because 3 weeks later, I got a call from someone claiming to be from the city's Consumer Protection Office. So 3 weeks go by. Things finally start to feel normal again. The fake reviews had been reported and removed. No more live streaming nonsense. No more surprise visits. Just customers coming in, buying what they needed, leaving happy. Peace. Then one afternoon, I get a call at the register. It's a woman's voice. She says she's from the Consumer Protection Office of Austin and needs to verify a few details about a complaint filed against our store. The way she spoke was weird. Too casual for something official. I asked for her name, badge number, department, basic stuff. She stuttered. I asked again. She hung up. I told Mr. Thompson immediately. He was already a few steps ahead. Turned out, Someone had submitted an online form to a few city departments claiming our store was involved in fraudulent activity, refusing service to minorities, and endangering customers by selling damaged electronics. All anonymous. All fake. Mr. Thompson had the IT guy check the form submission time and compare it to our security logs and employee activity. He even contacted the real Consumer Protection Office to confirm no such investigation existed. They hadn't even heard of it. It was clear someone was trying to stir up legal trouble. I had a sick feeling in my stomach. It had Denise written all over it. She was trying to ruin us, if not with yelling then with lies. That same week, a new review popped up under a different name. It said an employee at our store, described exactly like me, had grabbed a woman by the arm during an argument and told her to leave before he called IC. I'm Mexican American, born and raised in Texas. And that kind of lie? That could wreck someone's life. My hands were shaking when I read it. Mr. Thompson read it too. He didn't say much, just calmly forwarded it to his lawyer. By now, we were pretty sure Denise wasn't working alone. Someone was helping her, or she was using multiple fake accounts. We weren't even sure if she was doing all of this herself or if her fiancé, or whoever he was fueling it behind the scenes. But then we got lucky. One of our employees, a college kid named Darren, was scrolling TikTok during his break. He burst into the back room holding his phone out like it was made of gold. "You gotta see this," he said. It was a video. Uploaded just a few hours earlier. Denise. Wearing the same ridiculous sunglasses. Talking to the camera about how entitled retail workers think they can humiliate people like me. Then she says it, on camera. They think they can ban me? I know how to file complaints. I've already submitted fake ones to the city. Let's see how they like getting investigated. Mr. Thompson took one look and said, "Download that. Send me the file." The whole thing was about 3 minutes long, full of her bragging, name-dropping fake people in government, and literally describing how she makes fake reports to teach stores a lesson. It was exactly what we needed. But we didn't post it. Mr. Thompson forwarded it to his lawyer, who sent it directly to the city offices where the fake complaints had gone. He also reached out to the police. We didn't hear anything for a few days. Nothing. Quiet again. Until one morning, Denise showed up again. But this time, she didn't come inside. She stayed across the street. Sitting on the hood of a red sedan, sunglasses on, just watching the store. It was creepy. She stayed there for hours. Didn't come inside. Didn't say anything. Just sat there, scrolling on her phone, watching us through the window like she was waiting for something. I told the others. Nobody approached her. But we were all on edge. Then something happened I still don't understand completely. Near the end of the day, a different car pulled up. A gray Honda, tinted windows. Parked behind her sedan. A man stepped out, tall, middle-aged, wore a badge on his belt. He walked over to her. They spoke for maybe a minute. Then he showed her something. Papers. She stood up fast, tried to walk away, but he stopped her. She was detained right there on the sidewalk. A few of us were at the window, watching. We didn't know what was happening, not exactly. But it looked serious. Turns out, Denise had been doing this all over the city. Not just our store. She had a habit of targeting small businesses, demanding discounts, and then harassing them when they refused. The video Darren found wasn't her first time filming herself bragging. She'd posted several, some under different names, showing off how she filed complaints, how she tricked people, how she exposed rude service workers by baiting them. Someone finally reported her to the city's cybercrimes division. They'd been investigating her for weeks. The video we saved? It was the nail in the coffin. And get this, her so-called fiancé? He wasn't just a jerk. He had a record. Forgery. Fraud. He was already being looked at for unrelated business scams. That's when everything started to come out. And it's still not over. Because yesterday, we got a letter from a lawyer. A civil suit. Filed against us by her. From jail. So yeah, we got served. A freaking lawsuit. From her. Denise filed a civil suit from jail, claiming defamation, emotional distress, and harassment. It was wild. She even claimed we had ruined her brand and personal reputation, and said she'd suffered irreparable mental harm because we publicly humiliated her in front of others. She used screenshots from her own live streams as evidence and called my actions aggressive and racially motivated, even though I had barely spoken a dozen words to her that day. She listed Mr. Thompson, me, and the store itself as defendants. I almost laughed when I saw the paperwork, but the truth is, it scared me. None of us wanted to deal with court. Lawyers are expensive. Time is money. And even if the suit was nonsense, we still had to respond. Mr. Thompson's lawyer handled most of it, but I had to give a formal statement and appear in a pre-trial deposition. I had never done anything like that before. They tried to make me feel like the bad guy. Her lawyer, who was clearly one of those take anything for a check types, asked questions like, "Did you feel superior to the customer that day?" And, "Would you say you were annoyed or aggressive toward her because of her appearance?" I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't sleep for days. I started doubting myself, even though deep down, I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. But she twisted everything so much, it started messing with my head. Mr. Thompson stayed calm. He told me, "We'll beat this. You didn't do anything wrong. But we're going to make sure this ends with something." And oh, did it! During discovery, our lawyer turned over the TikTok video Darren found, and another one surfaced. It was from a private Facebook group, shared by someone who had gone through the same thing at a clothing boutique. Denise had posted, "Another store banned me today, lol. I'm gonna file a complaint and make them dance. These clowns fold when they see lawsuits." She even joked about pretending to cry during disputes so people would feel guilty and give free stuff. The court saw all of it. Then came the background check. Turns out, this wasn't Denise's first fake lawsuit. She had a pattern. Filing small claims against restaurants, nail salons, even a dentist. Most businesses settled, just to make it go away. That's how she made side cash. Her entire scam was to provoke drama, film it, twist the story, file complaints, or sue. But here's the thing. She'd messed up this time. Because this wasn't a small business with no legal team. Mr. Thompson had the resources to fight. And he was pissed. So not only did we win the lawsuit, Denise was ordered to pay our legal fees. Tens of thousands of dollars. And the judge didn't stop there. The court referred her to the DA's office for fraud. She ended up with additional charges, attempted extortion and perjury. She wasn't just banned from our store anymore. She was banned from owning or operating any business for 5 years. She was put on probation for 5 more. But it didn't end without a twist for me, too. During the case, I had to go back and check all my incident reports from the store. I realized I had missed something in my first write-up. I forgot to mention that she had made physical contact with me. She touched my arm when she leaned in to whisper, "You're going to lose your job, loser." I didn't include it because I brushed it off. But by leaving it out, it gave her space to say later that I had been the one to make this situation physical. That detail, my mistake, almost gave her wiggle room in court. The judge called me out during testimony. Said my memory needed improvement, and I should take documentation more seriously. That's dumb. And it was fair. I wasn't perfect. I should have written it down exactly as it happened. That small crack gave her lawyers an opening they didn't deserve. I got lucky that we had video footage and witness statements to back it up. So yeah, I walked away from it with my job, my name cleared, and a new rule burned into my brain: always write it all down. As for Denise? Last I heard, she left Texas completely. Packed up and moved back to her hometown in Nevada. Her fiancé? Still under investigation for multiple business scams. But here's the final kick. 6 months after the lawsuit ended, we got an envelope in the store mail. No return address. Inside was a note. Written in all caps. It said, "I know where you work. This isn't over." We handed it to the cops. They looked into it. Said it was probably nothing, but Mr. Thompson quietly upgraded our security system anyway. And me? I kept working. Kept doing my job. And every time someone walks in demanding a discount because they know the owner, I smile and say, "So do I." Then I tell them the price is still full. Because once you deal with a storm like Denise, every other entitled customer feels like a soft breeze.